News time, 8:41.
So a lot of kids already back in school or just starting even today. And getting your kids or grandkids back into a routine after summer break can be somewhat challenging.
Well, I mean, think about it. Getting yourself back into a routine after a vacation is challenging. Joining us on the KOGO News Live Line, staff scientist at the Salk Institute, Dr. Emily Manoogian. Hi there, Doc.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, kids, they get used to sleeping in over the summer. They're having fun. How do we corral them back into that school routine?
Yeah, it's all about getting on a consistent cycle and then trying to give your body cues to help you fall asleep at night. So not eating super late or too close to when you go to bed, kind of dimming lights, calming down. You know, if you're having a really crazy night and then it's like, go to sleep right now, that's probably not going to happen. I don't think we could fall asleep that quickly. Our bodies don't just turn off like a switch. So kind of creating that regular schedule where you can say, this is our hard time. We start our cool down routine. We have our dinner at the same time. That can really help you kind of get into the routine to fall asleep on time and get that proper rest.
Now, poor sleep or interrupting the sleep cycle can obviously lead to a lot of health issues. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we see it more develop when you're older, but these things start young. So getting a regular sleep cycle, eating at the right times of day are all really important for your body to work properly. So when we disrupt those rhythms, we do see things like increases in gut diseases like indigestion or bloating, or more serious metabolic disorders like insulin resistance or gaining weight, or eventually leading, down the line to type 2 diabetes. And so really that sleep is super important. And when we think from a cognitive point of view, you're really not yourself when you're sleep deprived. You're usually moody. You're probably not quite as alert. You're not going to remember things as well if you're not sleeping well. You're more likely to have mood disorders like anxiety and depression. So getting that good night's sleep really improves your overall quality of life, both mentally and physically.
Let's talk a little bit about eating habits because, we are kind of addicted to our fast food and foods that are easy and simple because everybody's busy and nobody really wants to cook. Not nobody, but, a lot of people don't have time to cook every day. So how do we get the right vitamins and minerals into these kids?
Yeah, so a lot of it ends up leading into food planning and trying to use some of your weekend time to figure out what your meals are going to be. Try to make it so you only have to cook maybe 3 times in a week and have a leftover day the second day so you can kind of spread that out across the week. Those things can be really helpful. And just trying to have, a vegetable at each meal or some fruit as dessert. Those things can be great. The other thing is just when you eat. So eating super early when your body is not awake yet or eating right before bed has their own consequences, even if it is quality food. And so kind of timing your food to be consumed when you're awake and active, and trying to get as many nutrients as you can is great. And of course, we're all going to have that cheat day or that day we just don't have time to make something. And that's okay when it's an occasional event. We just don't want that to be every day.
Another thing that we think about when the time changes, but we don't think about that much when school starts, is car accidents. And how a little drowsy can lead to a bad accident.
Absolutely. And you said it exactly right. When we have daylight savings time changes, we see huge increases in car accidents. And that's just a great example of when you're a little bit sleep deprived, you're not getting that sleep that you need, you're a little bit too drowsy. It's very similar to drunk driving. And we see huge rates of increased car accidents and other health events as well. You see increased rates of heart attacks and things like that as well. And so we know that this kind of sleep is going to be a big deal. And for students, when we're thinking about maybe they're not driving, but it really, getting good sleep and feeling rested improves class attendance, it improves graduation rates, it improves grades. And so even if you're not the driver, it's still a very important aspect of your kind of cognitive function and how you're going to function throughout the day.
All right, staff scientist at the Salk Institute, Dr. Emily Manoogian, thank you so much for your time and the information.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You too.